All righty, YouTube. Welcome to the Raise Hail Praise Dale podcast. Talk everything about the NASCAR Cup Series. And really, we've been talking about Xfinity and trucks quite a bit too now. Looking forward to today's episode. I know we don't have any races to cover, but have some new NASCAR updates as well as some new silly season information as well as team updates, which finish really round. I'll work on
Yeah,
that.
silly season's
Talking
really
here.
kicking off.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. That being said, I'm gonna keep moving stuff around a second. You might hear me be quiet first. But I want to make sure you got the information.
Then I know you guys, if you're watching, can't see me. It's because I have my camera turned off for a second while I stuff my face because I literally just got home.
He's not even making time for y'all. He's like, yeah, we'll get to it. I almost got this stuff here. Outside of that, there's lots of team changes that are going on. A couple more driver announcements, charter negotiation updates. Yeah, I think that should cover at least most of what we're going over this week. I think that's good. I think it's all rearranged. If I didn't even make it through me starting the podcast, she's already snoring.
I'm sweating.
But without further ado, let me stop rearranging this and leaving y'all with silence. And go ahead and hit that intro and get into it.
Do it. Well, welcome to Race Hail Praise Dale, the podcast where we talk everything related to the world of NASCAR Cup Series. I'm JT Dallas.
I'm Voodoo.
Welcome in, guys. Like Voodoo was saying when we first started, I mean, of course, we don't have a race to talk about, but we do have plenty of silly season stuff that has kicked off this week. But before we really get into that,
Got a question for you.
what's that?
Do you know how many wins that Jimmy Johnson has for his whole career?
86?
No.
No, 83. I'm sorry. 83. 83.
How many wins does Cale Yarborough have?
That one I don't know.
It's also 83. And how many days are left until the Daytona 500?
Oh boy, just 83.
Wasn't trying those all together for no reason. 83 days to go, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Moving on up, getting closer.
I'm looking forward to it.
Sir. Let's see here. Yeah, sorry guys about the last minute rushing around. We had this thing to do in town. I'd take my girls to see Santa and lighting the Christmas tree and stuff. So
Right,
had to be a dad. So getting everything set up.
Obviously, we don't have a post race breakdown this week.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of talk about the late model world.
Yeah, I didn't put any notes in here though, but that old Dale Jr. qualified what 40th something like that.
Yeah, and then he got knocked out of the race due to a
Engine issue.
fuel pump issue, I think.
Yeah, some
So
kind
he
of.
didn't even get to finish it. But I will say that Bud number 8 never looked so good.
I mean, it did look real good back in the day, but it's the
Oh
best
yeah,
thing
but
since then.
I'll give you that one. What I was really going for was the Wicked Witch of NASCAR actually, lost the number 8, and now Dorothy Dale's clicking his red shoes again. Who knows? We might get to see a
It was pretty and it was fast.
right. Who knows? We might get to see an Xfinity version of it or something. I would be lying if I said that I didn't already pre-order the late model 1/64th. So,
Mm. Yeah,
but
if
that's
that
pretty much.
doesn't get made by Lionel, we got some issues.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen on Dale's what you call it on his, I think it was his TikTok or something like the Junior Motorsports. He did an interview where he was like, Lionel's already they made a special piece to manufacture those. So
Nice,
it's in the works.
good stuff. Yeah.
So good. Hang
Model
on,
race
I will
this
be right
weekend
back.
was
My
nice.
kids are being terrors. I will be right back.
Yeah, I'll be here. We're gonna move on to the old trackside trends. So let's head and do that. Still getting used to my button setup. Slightly changed up the graphics again this week, keep it a little fresh.
I was looking at them earlier today when I was making the thumbnail. I was going through the notes and I seen that section in the drive, and I was like, I wonder what that is. So I clicked it and I was like, oh, these are nice. So
All right,
a big shout out to Voodoo because he does all our graphics. He makes everything pretty.
something like that. Sometimes it's ugly, but my face my face makes it look better. If I could say it right, it'd make more sense.
If you could speak it right, that'd be even better.
Right. Anywho, first update is Coda getting a new layout. They're gonna be running the international circuit instead of what they've run in the past.
Oh gosh.
It was roughly a little over a mile shorter of a track than.
Heck yeah.
But instead of the full course, they're going to cut off the long straightaways and make the turn back to the half right after the S. So, when it comes up during the season, obviously we'll put the track map graphic up for you guys so you can see what the difference is. I think the whole point is they're going to have quicker cautions. Back to the action of racing. Just a tad bit quicker. Yawning already. Man.
Come on, man.
I feel like I'm you right now.
Wow, thanks. All right. So, NASCAR has extended its regional division and weekly series broadcast rights with Flow Racing.
Yep.
That means I think. Go ahead.
So that means all the ARCA series and some late model events, Welland series, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm on the camera. You need to go sit down and eat. If you're done eating, go play.
Next bit. Gold.
All right. So you want to hear some crazy news? So the Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium set for February 2nd or 5th. One of those two.
Whatever that Sunday.
Yeah, whatever that Sunday is. I'm sorry, I'm pulling that date off my head. Uh-oh.
Second.
I'm sputtering a little bit on Discord. Anyway, well, if you wanted tickets now, it's too late because Bowman Gray is sold out. The 125 lap tour type modified race, open to the top 20 in Bowman Gray points, is added to the Clash's weekend schedule. So they're going to be doing a mod tour. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, a little bit of a double header type situation for your tickets.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty
I think it'd be cool if NASCAR put in a cup car for whoever wins the mod race.
cool. They'd probably take Corey LaJoy's seat. Anyways.
I like it.
Oh,
I
man.
like it.
All right. 2024 awards. I'm going to start from the bottom on this instead of popular driver. So the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award went to Judy Simmons.
Yes, sir. And then the Comcast Community Champion goes to Eric Jones.
Know that guy.
Yes,
Bill France Award of Excellence went to Toyota Racing Development's president that is about to retire, Mr. David Wilson.
Yep, and then the Meyer Brothers Award go to Greg Biffle
for all his help with people in need and whatnot. But
yep.
jumping to the second most important award would be the 2024 Rookie of the Year. Starting with the trucks, you got Mr. Lane Riggs. Xfinity, you got old Jesse Love. Last but not least, in the Cup Series, you got Mr. Carson Hocevar.
Yes, sir. And bringing on our most popular driver, we got trucks for Roger Carruth. Xfinity is old Justin Allgaier. And Cup feels kind of like a sellout, but Chase Elliott.
I agree. So many more people I feel like deserved it better than him.
I agree.
My vote only counts for one person.
Even at this point, not gonna lie, I would even love to see Denny Hamlin in that instead of Chase Elliott. I just feel like Chase Elliott, for the most popular driver, he hasn't really done a whole lot.
I agree 1,000%. All right. So
I think I figured out what it is. I think I really have. Before we jump on, I'm sorry. I think Chase Elliott fans are just the loudest.
Yeah, maybe so.
Like they're the loudest minority. I mean, that's my thought. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't see Chase Elliott being the number one driver. What is it? 4 years in a row now.
Like they're ridiculous. When did Junior get out?
Junior got out in 15.
I think it's been Chase Elliott since.
Something like that.
I saw there was a graphic.
I don't know.
Something like the last 25 years, it's either been an Elliott or an Earnhardt voted most popular driver. That has gone through Bill Elliott, obviously Dale Earnhardt Sr., then Junior, and then.
Out of those names that you just mentioned, though, let's be honest, Chase has earned it the least.
Correct.
That's just my
argument here.
And I'm not hating on Chase Elliott fans. I don't know, when you see stuff like that year after year after year after year, it gets old. And especially when I think there's drivers that deserve it a whole heck of a lot more than just. I know it's fan, voted on and stuff, but I don't know. It just
fans of other drivers voting.
Yeah, I mean, I did my civic duty. I voted.
Me too. Both for NASCAR and for president. We won't get into those details. Moving on.
This is an anti-political show, sir.
Exactly. I just said I voted. I didn't say who I voted for. Carter negotiation update. Y'all love this and like roll over this.
Right.
2311 and REM have dropped their appeal of the denied preliminary injunction request, citing a change in circumstances. But they do intend to refile their motion and have stated, in quotes, plaintiffs intend to file a motion for preliminary injunction in the district court with additional evidence of changed circumstances.
So they're pushing it some more.
They repealed they dropped that appeal, but they're going to refile. I think it has something to do with a little bit of news we'll get here in a little bit. Can't really make an argument that you're struggling. But anyways.
Right.
Especially with how much money it costs.
Anyway.
And like we say every week, just give me the last 3 digits.
Yeah.
Jumping forward to some team changes.
Yes, sir. Starting in Xfinity, got Junior Motorsports running the 88 of Connor Zilic. The Kent Grounds of America will sponsor at Iowa, so a new sponsor for that car.
Yeah. Already announced Connor, but that's a new sponsor.
Yep.
At least one race. We know WeatherTech's gonna.
I'm excited to see the WeatherTech 88 for the Cup Series of SVG.
Yeah. Doing your red, white, and blue scheme.
Bro, I'm telling you. It gives me Colgate vibes. I'm not going to lie. If you told me that was a toothpaste car, I'd believe you.
Got news for the previous Colgate car.
That we do.
Jumping to the Cup Series and RCR. We got a little bit of shaking up here. We got a new sponsor and some new people. So Keith Rodden was the interim competition director. Now he is the VP of competitions. He's been promoted to Permanente. Josh Klausmeer.
That's how I would say it.
Do me if I'm wrong. No money anyway. Was with SHR. Is now the technical director at RCR. Richard Boswell was Chase Briscoe's crew chief. Stuart Hassen is now the crew chief for Austin Dillon. And a new sponsor, not only for the Cup Series, but also Xfinity. Got Titan Risk Solutions. Got a little something for this.
Let's see it.
Where I continue talking about it. Where to put it? Yeah. Titan Risk Solutions will sponsor Austin Dillon, Austin Hill, and Jesse Love in select Cup and Xfinity Series events during the 2025 season. I actually like that scheme. It's pretty plain, but I like it.
It makes me think of the Earnhardt scheme for the Red Sox. I could be wrong. It was like a Budweiser. It was a baseball scheme.
That was pretty close. The only thing they're missing is like a chunk of dark blue.
Yeah. That's just the kind of vibe it gives me. But I like the scheme.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Pretty neat.
Moving on to Spire. Matt McCall has joined Spire as Director of Vehicle Performance. Dax Gallagher, is that how you say his name?
Close enough.
Has joined Spire as Technical Director. And TWG Global now owns and operates Spire Motorsports in addition to Andretti Global and IndyCar and Wayne Taylor Racing and IMSA. Dan Taurus, part of Gamebridge and Group 1001, is behind the investment. So
technically a new owner for Spire Motorsports, but they're not changing the name like somebody else.
Facts.
JGR, a little bit of surprising news here. Chris Gabehart is leaving the 11 team as crew chief and going to competition director. Chris Gale is going to move over from the crew chief of the 54 to be the new crew chief of the 11. And there has been an announcement of who will be the crew chief for the 54. Different little bit of news. We originally thought Martin Truex Jr. Running the Daytona 500 was going to be 2311. Well, he did a little interview, made light that it's not going to be 2311. It's actually probably going to be JGR going to field his spot. considering
Maybe it's gonna be like
they already got 4 cars.
maybe it's gonna be like a partnership between the two. I mean, they're both Toyota teams.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing Martin Truex Jr. in like a Legacy Motor Club Toyota.
That ain't no lie. Who knows? He might be filled in the 42, not this coming season, but next season. Anyway, moving on to RFK. Jeremy Bolins will be crew chief for Brad Keselowski. He was crew chief for who is that?
Brothers Racing.
Thank you. My brain was not wanting to work it.
Oh. All right, this next one is took a stab at. JTG Doherty Racing, no more, have been rebranded to Hayek Motorsports. Still going to be running the 47, but they no longer have the Kroger sponsorship. That has went over to that of RFK.
Okay. Yep. All right, let me clean my eyeballs here for a second. All right, moving on to Legacy. JHN, John Hunter Nemechek, is getting a new crew chief, and that crew chief's name is Travis Mack. He will be the crew chief for Daytona. Or 2025, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, that includes Daytona.
It includes Daytona, but
I guess
I was reading the next part, you know.
Yeah. Which doesn't include that. Put it up. But I guess that means with that announcement of Travis Mack being the new crew chief, that means John Hunter Nemechek is not giving up his.
Obviously not. I'm excited to see Legacy do a little bit more this year, hopefully.
Legacy's got to do better this year. I mean, if they perform the same as they did this year, like, I might have to jump ship.
Unless Jimmy's driving, then hands down.
That's different. No, he's not going
to win. It hurts to admit, but it's true.
All right.
All right.
Just for your sake, only the stuff in red is the new information. Stuff in black in this next section, if we want to spot on it, we can. But the red stuff is.
I mean, we can kind of go over it, you know.
Right,
a little bit.
Jump to Race Day Horizon.
All right, welcome to Race Day Horizon. We're gonna at least I feel like we're gonna kind of jump over some of the stuff we've already covered, but there isn't very much new. So I mean, it's kind of up to you. What do you want to do?
Well, see on my graphic, not update Xfinity series. Anthony Alfredo is not going to be the one. Mr. Chris Wright past week.
Yes, sir.
One big Xfinity. About everything else, pretty much what we had going on before.
Yeah.
The very bottom right, we got Ryan Ellis up there. It doesn't have a truck or an Xfinity number yet because it has not been announced yet.
Either I know you're just on Xfinity right now, but when we switch over to the Cup series, Noah Gragson will not have a number either.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing he's going to be in.
Yeah.
It's showing as number 4, but they might.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're talking about now. Okay. But anyway, moving on to another new one, the 34 for Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, so he's switching over from the 38 to the 34, which means that they're probably not going to be running the 38.
Yep.
Loves did not follow my gal over to.
Did not.
Taking on that 34 team. But the new number, as you can see, did I not put, hold on. The wrong
This
graphics.
looks like
That's
last week's
why,
coming.
because I definitely updated the coupling. Yeah. Let me fix this real quick.
Do it.
I even updated the graph. There we go.
Looky
So
there.
now you can see I did update the Chris Wright showing on that 5 now. Still quite a few drivers that have not been announced.
Nice.
Has not been announced his truck number. Now moving over to the Cup Series. Noah Gregson is still listed as the 4. But if you look down there in the middle column, second one from the last one down there, there's a new car number.
Riley Herbst with RFKs running the 30.
All right. 2311.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading the notes.
Yeah. I don't know who makes them notes, but he's a jack. Anywho. I do those, but those did not know. So yeah, 2311. We're running the number 35 with Riley Herbst. And the 35 they came up with is the last digit of their other 2 cars. So the 23 and the 45, they took 3 and the 5 and put them together. Well, bam.
Nobody. All right. So moving on to what's new, you got Rick Ware. They leased one charter to RFK, may only run one feature car, and it's expected to be the 51 of Cody Ware. So,
yeah, and since I put the notes in for that one, there was actually a leak of their website, which I sent to you.
yeah.
And actually on their website, they're listing that Mr. Corey LaJoy in that.
Yup.
Maybe they spoiled their own surprise and we're going the more
Chris Bell
longest winless streak banners going on.
Rip.
With that being said, now jumping to RFK, we have another new number. That third column was that 5th from the bottom. RFK would be running that number 60 with Mr. Ryan Priest.
Yes, sir. And kind of adding on to our brand switches. I know I kind of jumped in the middle of your thing here, so sorry.
You're good.
But Mr. Ricky Stenthouse will no longer be running the Kroger, as far as we know, because Kroger will now be running with the number 60 of Ryan Priest. So Kroger is to go in with 20 brands to sponsor all 3, so not even just Ryan Priest, all 3 of RFK's cars during the 25 season.
Yeah, so we all see brands all over the place.
Yep.
Might get you see your Brad Keselowski Colgate car.
Might get to. Who knows?
So out of these guys, I think I'm still leaning towards, at least as far as a rookie, I think I'm probably still going to lean towards Mr. Cole Custer.
I was really hoping that Andy's follows him. I haven't seen anything about it, but
I haven't seen anything either. But right now we got three rookies. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. You got Riley Herbst, Cole Custer, and Shane Van Gisbergen.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited to see what Riley Herbst does.
I mean, if you think about it, I think Riley Herbst and Shane Van Gisbergen are going to be battling it out for Rookie of the Year. Cole Custer is now down to a 1-car team. I don't know how well they're going to perform.
Didn't Cole Custer run Cup before?
You know what? He did. He may not be a rookie.
Be a rookie.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be between Riley Herbst and Shane Van SVG.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to go for that one.
I'll tell you what. You pick.
If it's only those 2 for rookies, we're going to have to do a head-to-head rookie battle.
You want to flip a coin? We'll flip a coin. You call it. You call it. You get to pick which one you want. Okay. Fine.
When we doing that? Oh, you pulling it out now?
Hang on.
Oh man, let's see.
So I've got this 75 years of petty coin right here. We'll call this side heads if it'll focus in on it.
75 logo.
Yep. And then on the other side, it's just a petty with a Petty Enterprises logo. That's tails, okay? So which side do you want?
I'm gonna go tails.
You know, tails? Okay. Oh, it hit Petty 75. So I get to pick. I'm gonna pick SVG.
I'm fine
Just
with
because I
it.
like the 88.
All right. So I'll tell you what, to make this interesting, I mean, we're gonna have to cover them anyway. During the season for RHP Motorsports, are we gonna do a 4-car team again, or are we just gonna do 2 cars?
So what I was gonna say was we should dumb it down to a 2-car team this year. But I don't think that we should do rookies. Like, I think if we're gonna do rookies like we're doing it now, I think it should be a whole different thing
Gotcha.
where it's just a head-to-head competition.
Okay. We can do that.
We'll see where our points are at the end of the season. And I mean, if there's another rookie and like that gets introduced later, because we have a whole off season, so who knows what's gonna get introduced.
We
And you
technically
wanted
still got
to
a couple cars that aren't accounted for.
exactly. So, and if you wanted to change or, what I mean, we'll go from there. So, within reason. I don't think you could be playoffs and be like, oh, I'm changing rookies.
No, come on. Can't do it the week before the end of the season.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
But
man. All right.
but anyway, that's
Let me
the way I should
notate
do
that
it.
down here. That way, when we start graphics, I'll have that note. I have to come back
I got you.
figuring out. I guess we could just let them glimpse at the schedule again real quick.
Yeah.
We announced it last week. I don't have notes for it.
So kind of filling time because I know we're kind of running down since there's not a whole lot to talk about. I I do have a topic if you want to do what we kind of talked about earlier. I didn't give you any heads up, so I'm sorry, but I do have a topic if you want to try that tonight.
No pressure, but we got somebody watching me from my living room right now.
Oh, okay.
My mother's up, and I may or may not have coerced her to give us the subscription.
Heck yeah, dude.
Now she's
No,
watching.
he said his
What's your
mother-
topic?
So my topic is if you had to pick one error of NASCAR, and I'm talking about the car specifically, that you would put up against the modern car, which error? Like, okay, so what I mean, like by era, like what generation of car? If that makes sense. Would you put up against this next gen car that you think would give it the best run for its money, not speed wise, but like the most exciting race, if that makes sense?
Well, let's see. I feel like the ones I grew up on outrun them like crazy. It wouldn't really be too exciting.
Yeah.
I almost feel like the one popping into my head would be the car of tomorrow.
So you think the cot?
One with the little spoiler on the back.
I could see that. Yeah.
Used to have
So
one that got stolen.
I have one. It's missing the wing though. I can grab it real quick just to kind of show people what you're talking about. Let's see here.
But I feel like between the last few generations of cars, that one was almost say the least exciting to watch. I feel like they
Maybe with
would
the
be
Clippers.
pretty even with what we got.
Okay, so if you want to switch back to the big screen, so I can kind of describe what the car of tomorrow is for somebody that doesn't know. Um, so this would be considered a car of tomorrow. It's got a spoiler right here, or a diffuser. I'm sorry, a diffuser down the bottom. And usually it's got a big, like, almost like a drift car wing, which unfortunately this one's busted off. And then later on, down here underneath, they'd have another diffuser that would pull the car to the track. This car came about after Earnhardt died, and the whole goal of this car was to keep the car on the track, kind of like what they did um, with this next gen car. So, I mean, just keeping that in mind. Which, let's be honest, who doesn't like the National Guard car? But
Active duty
that's
army guys.
all I can say is I tried. Okay. Um, but so I'll that's kind of the car that I was thinking of, but then I got to thinking about I'm trying to remember what gen it is. Uh, hang on a minute. What generation is that? Oh, okay, the Gen 4.
Okay.
You- Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Gen 4 was 92 to 2006. So think of which my thought is more of like the 2000 like 1 2002 when they're running, the Dodges and say what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that one. I was about to go grab another one. I'll let you show off some of yours, I guess.
I'll just show off this one with old Jimmy Johnson signature on it.
Oh yeah. So, but yeah, that was another one. The only thing that I'm a little worried about with that one would be that it would outrun it, because that era of car is where the record was set. No, it was the Gen 3 cars that were. Never mind. Gen 3 is the one that where the record was set at Dega for 212. So I don't know. So the car tomorrow, they're the ones that come out right after Gen 4s, which
Yeah.
Gen 4s are the ones that I grew up watching.
Yeah. That's the ones I pretty much started watching Gen 4.
Yeah,
Like,
so
well,
like
not the ones that I started watching, but the ones that I started watching like hardcore.
yeah. So like Gen 4s were like the Pontiac Grand Ams, the what was the Chevy that they ran? It might have been
Monte
the
Carlo.
Malibu. Or yeah, the Monte Carlo. I don't know. I keep wanting to say Malibu, but yeah, it's the Monte Carlos,
Malibu Barbie.
I guess. They ran Dodge Intrepids and Ford. Oh, I forget what it's called anyway. Anyway, yeah. So that would be the one that I'd put up against, and I think would make a good race. So we're kind of in the same time era, I guess. I mean, granted, I think the car tomorrow is a better choice just because it was slower than the Gen 4. Um, so adding on to my discussion topic, if you could, okay, so for whatever reason, say our podcast got chose to put together an event
Mm.
for uh NASCAR. Okay, and if you guys watched any at all, I always talk about how cool it would be if NASCAR made a NASCAR Legends tour. It's kind of like take if you guys watched SRX, it's kind of like SRX where you take some NASCAR legends. So you take like Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, Dale Earnhardt, some of the biggest names. You match them against today's biggest names, but you put them in a different car. What style car would you put them in? As far as like not just generation, like you could pick whatever car you wanted as long as it would be considered for NASCAR, if that makes sense. So like if you wanted to put them in a Cadillac or something, I think at one point NASCAR was thinking about adding the Cadillac CTV, whatever it is. So, what would you?
Hmm.
What kind of? How would you set up the event, and what kind of car would you put them in?
I would.
Okay, hang on. Before we start jumping, I'll break that up even a little bit better. So let's just start with what track would you take them to for the NASCAR Legends event?
Homestead.
You
Feel
take on
like
the
it deserves
Homestead.
a special event.
Okay.
Been gypped out the last.
Okay. So adding on to that one, how many cars would you try to field? And no, I'm not going to ask you to name all
All
of
of
your field.
them. I think a full size field of what I'm used to. So 43 cars.
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask because the full size field now is only 40.
Yeah,
And,
no, do
back in the day it
43.
was like 43, and then like even further back, I think it got up to 46 at one point. So, so if we were making your event, you would take it to Homestead with 43 cars. Okay. Um. So who would you want to grand marshal?
Trying to remember back in the day. Can't remember who did it.
If it's okay, hang on. I've got
I
I've
need
got my
somebody with
own.
excitement.
Oh
I don't need
yeah.
somebody who's gonna walk
So
up there and be like, "Drivers, start your
gentlemen,
engines.
start your engines.
Start
Yeah.
them the best you've ever started them."
Okay,
Uh,
so my last question, and then we'll go back over them, and I'll tell you my answers. Okay, and then we'll just
I haven't
kind of
even
talk about.
figured out who the Grand Marshal was. Need somebody with energy. You know what? Just for the sake of it,
Let's hear it.
if and only if he can do it like he did his little pregame huddle going into the Super Bowl, he can bring the same hype as that. I would say Drew Brees.
You'd say who?
Drew Brees.
Okay, okay,
But it has to be the same energy of that pregame huddle for the Super Bowl
okay. So I've
that we
got
won, by the way. Because you know
yeah.
we're undefeated in Super Bowl appearances.
Well, if you only go once. Um. Okay, so I've got two more questions. Okay, how many laps would you want this event to go at Homestead? You can even I'll even break it down if you want a certain amount of miles.
I'd say a 500 mile.
Okay. And
That's
if you
probably no. They only do a 400 there right now.
yeah,
267 laps. So it'd be a little bit longer.
okay. Um and so my last question. So well before I jump ahead, are you wanting to do 500 mile or 400?
500.
500. Okay. So and my last question is you can pick 5 drivers and like they will be there. Okay. So who and the only stipulation is you have to pick at least 2 drivers that are currently driving. Okay? So 3 of whenever and 2 at least 2 of current drivers. Who would you pick? And they
Obviously,
have and another stipulation obviously is they'd have to be like physically able to drive.
Dang it.
If that makes sense.
No Jimmy Carter, huh? Let's see. Well, obviously, one of my people would be Jimmy Johnson. Can't go wrong
Okay.
with that. Um, mm,
And I will count him as a currently driving because he did drive this last season.
that easy. Just because I want to see him back on track again. Casey Kane in there.
Okay. That's a name that I wasn't even thinking of. I'm not gonna lie.
What else we got? I hear my mother in there yelling, Jeff.
Okay. So you got 3 and 1 currently racing. So you got yeah. You all right?
Much as I hate to say it, he would bring some attention up there. I have to go with old Kyle Larson.
Okay, so there's your 2 currently racing. So you got let's see. Let's just
Or
recap. You
past.
got Johnson, Casey Kane, Kyle Larson, Jeff Gordon. So you need one more driver.
Let's throw Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that Bud number 8 out there.
All right, so you got Junior. All right. So, starting back at the beginning, I asked you what track you would go to. Okay. You chose Homestead.
Yep.
Okay. My answer is this one's the hard one because I've got 2 tracks that I would love to see that. I mean, Daytona for obvious reasons because it was the oldest track, first track, whatever. Or
Before you continue, I could say Daytona if we went back to the original Daytona, where half
like
of it was on the
beach.
beach.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. If we could get it on the beach, 100% Daytona. But I don't see cars getting on the. You know what I mean? So my other track though is Rockingham. I would love to see another race at Rockingham.
Okay.
I don't know. I just love that track. Um, and then the second question I asked, I should have wrote these down. Uh, was who you wanted to be the Grand Marshal, and you chose Drew Brees if he could replicate the hype that he did with the Super Bowl. And I'm kind of tied again. I've got 2 in mind. I'm thinking Kevin James.
Okay.
Just because of his first one, because it hyped everybody up. If he could do another one like that one, I think that'd be great. Kevin James. Or I thought about Will Ferrell.
Has
Just because
he done one yet?
he has not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember Kevin James doing one, but
Well, not that I know of anyway. I'm not gonna say he hasn't indefinitely, just not that I know of off the top of my head. I haven't looked it up or anything. But only if he does it in the style that Ricky Bobby would do it.
that would be hilarious.
That's the stipulation. Okay. Yeah. Listen, Chip, I'm the best there's ever been. I wake up,
We won't go further.
just saying. Those are one of my 2 picks. Just personality wise, I'd probably go Kevin James. But like I said, if we could get Will Ferrell to do a Ricky Bobby Grand Marshal, that'd be great. I asked you how many laps or miles you would go. I think with Rockingham, I wouldn't want to do a whole 500. I feel like I'd do a 250. Make it a little shorter exhibition race, it'd be awesome. Um, and then what else did I ask you? Oh, who my 5 picks were. I think that was the last question.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I should have wrote these down. I've been smart. So
We're
of
just winging
course I
it.
want Jimmy. Of course I want Jimmy there because who doesn't want Jimmy there? I want Jeff Gordon. I want Tony Stewart. I want I'd say Kyle Larson. I feel like he's the one that kind of deserves it. And my last pick, I would definitely have to put man. I'm trying to think of like a
Tough,
mix
isn't
up,
it?
like so the ones that I'm thinking about, I could either run with Bobby Labonte or taking kind of a swap up and run SVG. Those are the two that
I
I'm
don't know if SVG's cut it out enough to race with the big
exactly.
dogs yet.
Exactly. That's why
Probably get
I mean,
lap 27 times in your little 250 lap.
hey, but I mean, it'd show the new era coming in.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, that's my topic. We got to talk a little bit about the cars, as far as history wise, and then we got to talk about building a NASCAR Legends event. Uh oh, there's one more question that I want to ask you. If you could get anybody to do it, who would you put as the pre-race concert for NASCAR Legends? So I have a kind of funny one that I definitely want to do it.
I would almost. I'm torn between two people there.
Let's hear them both.
So one would be Bad Wolves,
Okay, that's a good one.
and then the other one would be Chris Stapleton.
That would be a good one too. So mine's a little bit more funny. I'm not gonna lie. um, so I'd want Rascal Flats, but they could only
Life is
play
a
the
highway.
Cars album.
Get a cucumber cowboy.
We don't give out gold stars. We give out Cucumber Cowboys. But anyway, that's uh that's my topic for tonight. Just to mess around with those two. Next week, well, if you want to continue this, well, like we talked about, next week will be your turn. You can either, you know, come out with it on the fly, like I just kind of did. Well, not on the fly, like I threw it to you without any.
Without giving you a heads up.
What? You need to go to bed.
I don't want to.
It's bedtime. Go bed. Go bed. Uh, or we could do like we talked about and try to get with each other beforehand. That way, we're both prepared. Either
Well,
way, it's up to you.
somebody's got a couple days off this week.
Oh yeah, I sure do.
I may. I'm for sure off on Thursday, but I may also Friday. I'm not.
Hey, bet.
If so, we might need to actually do our 50 sub video finally.
Oh no,
We've been pushing that for a while.
I know. I'm even on vacation this week.
Anywho's, let's jump to our next and best segment.
Yes, sir. Go lay down now.
All right. So, Slick Scheme Spotlight is brought to you by Happy Hour Racing. HappyHourRacing.com. Sell all kinds of fancy little get ups for NASCAR and Formula One. That's clothing and cups
Your
and hats.
mic's cutting out pretty dang bad. I don't know if it's going through OBS or not, but pretty bad on my end.
Hopefully, it's just Discord. Um. Oh yeah. So clothing, hats, cups, die casts, all kind of stuff that they got there, and turnaround's pretty quick for
Yeah.
delivery.
It took about a week after I ordered it to get here.
They need to give me some, so I'm not the only person who knows what's going on with them. But if you wanted to help out the podcast, grab you some swag from over there, and just make sure you use the code RHPD at checkout, and we get a little cut off of your purchase to go back in the podcast.
At no extra expense to you.
Correct. Definitely check that out. While you did pick a slightly older scheme than I did, it was my turn to go first this week.
Yeah, but it's off season, so
yeah, doesn't count. Specific order. So the one that I picked is from this past season, and I decided to go with Mr. Ryan Priest. 2024 Cookout Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway. I don't know what it is about
I would
me.
check OBS because I didn't hear any of that first part. All I heard was I decided to go, and then it started cutting out pretty dang bad.
I can hear my going, so
okay.
it sounds clear at least.
I just wanted to make sure, you know, I mean, it's not that it's really bothering me. I can kind of tell what you're saying. It's just I wanted to make sure.
I need to get some more RAM computer probably. Anyways, Ryan Priest in the 2024 Cookout Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway. This is the second week in a row I picked a scheme from this past season, and they were both at Darlington Raceway.
Go figure that
one. He had a pretty good run in this car. Started in 30th, finished up in the top 12. I don't know what it is about this one. Maybe that bright orange. Pretty simple, but it still pops out on the track to you. I think it's pretty pretty. That light gray base with your royal blue stripe going around, and then your little neon orange. Pretty awesome.
It does look nice. It's one of my favorite Ryan Priest schemes.
I think the only reason why it didn't get picked as a scheme of the week during the season is because it was throwback weekend and there were so many good schemes to pick from.
Facts.
And of course, Ross Chastain had his Busch Classic cars.
Oh yeah,
this is the one I picked last week. But yeah, that's my car. Pretty
yes, sir.
Awesome.
And as you mentioned, I picked a slightly older scheme. I picked William Byron's 2020 Exalta scheme. This one also had a lot of orange, so maybe we're just in an orange mood.
It seems like our slick scheme spotlights kind of like
link up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to pick not even the NASCAR. I just wanted to pick the Budweiser late model scheme. I almost did, but this is one of my favorite Exalta schemes. Besides, of course, you know, the rainbow car or the regular flame one. I really do like this scheme. It's just a metallic blue with a matte orange and yellow flame. It's fairly simple, but I don't know, just the inner child of me looking at hot rods and stuff loves this scheme.
It's pretty for sure. I like that it's like that a different shade of blue, the dark blue.
Yeah, it's definitely not a royal blue. It's like the metallic. It looks really good. It looked really good on track. I remember.
Forget what they call it. It's like some kind of coral blue. Some weird name like that.
The coral blue number 5. That's a SpongeBob reference. You're welcome. Anyway, yeah, so this ran at the Daytona 500. He started 4th and finished way back in last because of an accident on lap 58.
Pretty rough.
Yep.
Pretty car to be demolished like.
Right. I would love to have a piece of sheet metal from this car. So if anybody has any, you let me know.
You can get it for the low price of $1,000 for a square inch.
Probably. But I don't know. This is one of my favorite Exalta schemes. I'm surprised I haven't picked it yet, to be honest.
There's a lot of schemes to pick from.
Oh yeah. My number one worry though is like when I'm picking, especially like the older scheme, I'm like, have we picked this one already? I hope not. I
And you
don't
know, at
remember.
one point I was keeping track of the ones that we picked, but I've stopped keeping track of them.
I know. I'll just have to go back and watch the old lives and kind of write down which ones we've got.
All right.
But I do believe it's my turn to sign us out this time.
Yeah, but before you do that, you gotta like, comment, and hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir. You see that we're at 81 subs.
Technically at 82 because of my mom.
Well, thanks, Voodoo's mom, for subbing to us. Means a lot. You could be our new VIP if you want.
Only if she shows up to more than one podcast.
Ew. Thank you guys so much for watching. We do have merch. If you check out our Cucumber Cowboy, our Fast Pasta, have you added the new ones yet?
The new ones are on the website. Yes, I don't have the graphics to.
So we do have new ones. So if you're kind of curious about what new quote unquote mascots we've got, you should go check it out. Linked in the description.
Let me see forget which ones we all published.
So we've got new ones are Victory Bell.
I don't know if I have the bill. Yeah, don't have the bill up yet. I got Joey Lasagna.
Okay.
D Burrito.
Ooh,
Two new ones that we got.
The burrito one is so far my favorite.
Those are the two new.
I'm gonna have to buy the stickers. I've got the Cucumber Cowboy somewhere on here. The sticker. I've got my bottle too, but I use my bottle at work. Most people look at my bottle and they're like, "What the heck is that?" And then I get to explain to them that I'm in a NASCAR
Podcast that you
podcast.
should watch.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, really? I'll tune into it." I'm like, go ahead. It's on YouTube. And they're like, "So what does NASCAR have to do with a dude riding a cucumber horse?" I'm like, oh, that means Denny Hamlin.
we can't put actual numbers, like their actual number font or their names on there.
I'm telling you, my goal is to get Denny Hamlin to sign the Cucumber Cowboy bottle before he retires. That's my goal.
Something.
I think it'd be good. But yeah, so we've got merch. Check us out there. We also have an X, an Instagram, a TikTok. We post semi-regularly there. If I get a minute, work has been absolutely insane recently, so
Can't say that this week.
If I can this week. Let's see here. We also have a Discord, so if you guys want to jump in the conversations, maybe catch some Discord exclusives. Like we got to watch the championship race there as well. Me and Voodoo did because nobody's really in it yet. So you want to catch stuff like that,
I would say not solidified yet, but our next event on the Discord will be a watch party for the Daytona 500.
That and we did talk about possibly running a few races here and there on Forza with the new Cup Series. Voodoo and I have been playing around with that. It's been a lot of fun. And when the iRacing comes out, might run some races on that. Let's see here. What else is there? That and we just if you want to come hang out, jump in the chat. We'll be more than happy to answer back. I mean, if you just want to show off your diecast collection or talk about your favorite driver, that's what the Discord is made for. The only thing we ask is if you keep it family friendly in the Discord, because we try to keep this podcast family friendly. So that being in mind, we try not to discuss certain topics that cause fights because there's really no sense in it for a NASCAR podcast to talk about it. So, but anyway, I think that about wraps up everything. Unless there's something last minute that you can think of.
Got it all, bud.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you once again for riding shotgun with us on this episode of Race Hail Praise Dale. Remember, the checkered flag might fall, but the excitement never ends. So keep the pedal from it. Oh my Lord! I can't read. Let's rewind a little bit. Remember, the checkered flag might fall, but the excitement never ends. So keep the pedal to the metal and the passion for racing burning. Until next time, this is Race Hail Praise Dale signing out.